What's up, everyone? It's Matos here, the senior editor at Shack News. I'm here with Jeff Mattas,
How's it going?
Staff writer here at Shack News. And since the Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer was just released, we thought we'd kind of go over it frame by frame and point out a few things that we noticed since we all, we live here in sunny Southern California. So we thought we'd point out some things that we noticed. So let's take a look at Grand Theft Auto 5 first trailer. Now, first thing here, Jeff, you noticed.
Yeah, we got a dog here in the shot here. This is obviously either Santa Monica or Venice Beach, but this will be the first time that we know of that an animal other than a pigeon has appeared in a Grand Theft Auto game.
Yeah, actually, we should mention that this entire thing is essentially San Andreas, modern San Andreas. So when we mention places like Venice Beach and Las Vegas and all these other places, we're talking about the things that are obviously inspiring these locations within Rockstar's next Grand Theft Auto title.
Very true.
Here also, we got a guy wearing a Pump and Run Gymnasium t-shirt. A couple ladies checking out some guys running alongside. This is what, Venice Beach?
Yes, this is Venice Beach. Might be a little bit north. It's hard to tell, that it could be Santa Monica, it could be Venice. They're right up against each other, and they kind of blend into one another.
Here it's called Pleasure Pier, and you can kind of see this logo has sort of the roller coaster and Ferris wheel of where you can kind of see on Santa Monica Pier.
Right.
So that could sort of be what this is inspired by as well. Continuing on here, we just get a nice vista of the city, or one of the cities that's going to be featured here. Helicopter flying around in the background there that you can notice. I kind of paused a little too soon there. But one thing that we do notice in this trailer overall is a lot more aircraft, which we're missing from Grand Theft Auto 4. There was just helicopters in Grand Theft Auto 4, right?
Correct, yes. And also there's some pretty authentic smog effects, too. Which are always nice.
Yeah, whenever I look outside my window coming from another country and I'm like, wow, it's really foggy today. And everyone's like, no, it's not foggy.
That's only part fog.
It's only part fog.
The rest is smoke.
The rest is smoke. Here we have a couple shots of guys playing golf. Also, notice here, they're on the par 3, 169 yards. A lot of the use of the number 69 in Rockstar's past with Grand Theft Auto. I wonder why. I don't know exactly why.
Yeah, if they can figure out a way to sneak that in there, they will.
Exactly. Also, you have the blimp here, the Goodyear blimp sort of in the background here. I like to call this shot the 1%. Yeah. Moving on.
Yes, there you go.
We have a guy here on a jetpack called the Speedophile.
You mean a jet ski?
Or jet ski? Yeah, sorry.
No jetpacks in this trailer.
Sorry, I'm thinking of jetpacks. I wish there were jetpacks. Moving on to the next shot. This is what were you saying this was?
Well, this looks a lot to me like Yosemite or some sort of facsimile thereof. So that would be a little bit further, or quite a bit further north of Los Angeles in real geography. So it kind of makes you wonder how big the gameplay area is going to be.
Right. So to move on, this area actually I kind of recognized immediately, having only lived here for a few months now. There's a street that we take in order to go to the studio to shoot Weekend Confirmed on going towards Venice, and there's a cafe that sort of looks exactly like this area.
Right. Yeah. This is probably. This is definitely Venice. It's in real life. It's probably about 5 blocks or so away from where I actually live. So it's pretty cool. Pretty authentic.
Go try to break into Jeff's house when GTA 5.
Yeah. There you go. We also have a car here that has a working convertible top, which is also new to the series.
Moving forward, this is sort of, Del Rio was saying that this area is sort of like the San Francisco area, which in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which was called San
Fierro. Yes, this is actually, there's a whole bunch of wind turbines. If you drive I-5 north from Los Angeles to San Francisco, there's an area called the Altamont Pass, which is basically what this seems to represent. Again, another sort of indicator that the playable area in the new GTA game is going to be pretty big.
Although it says 78 there, it would have been a prime position to put the number 69 again, Rockstar. I think it was a missed opportunity for you. Here you're saying this is Miami Beach?
I'd say Malibu.
Also Pilates confirmed for GTA.
Pilates confirmed.
Moving on to the highway.
Yes, the I-5. In this case, the Los Puerta freeway. Obviously, I-5 is the main freeway that joins, or one of the main freeways that joins Los Angeles and San Francisco.
Muscle Sands, which is inspired by Muscle Beach.
Yes, Muscle Beach. This is also in Venice. So yeah, this.
I do love a lot of these signs. Like this says Pump Buddy magazine, and the slogan says "Plenty of issues to work out," which I think is pretty hilarious.
Pretty clever. Oh yes, and Venice Beach is you can see is called Vespucci Beach, according to the sign over on the left hand side.
Moving forward here, sort of more of a rundown area. One thing that I noticed too, this seems to be, because later we're going to see a foreclosure sign being put up. It seems that this is sort of taking the approach of the current economic times, and how right now there seems to be a lot of it's a turbulent economic time right now.
Yeah, in fact, you'll even see in not this particular shot, but there's some other shots in the trailer where you can see businesses that have for rent signs or for sale signs. So it's like, from average residences to businesses, everybody seems to be having a pretty difficult time of it.
Mm-hmm. And in this shot too, a lot of stuff that goes unnoticed is just the amount of clutter that's sort of like thrown into this little small section, little alleyway on the left-hand side. It looks natural. It doesn't look like things have been placed there. It looks like that's, people have just thrown stuff there, and it looks like it belongs there.
Yeah, very organic, very cool.
Right. Mile High Club building looks like... Now, I don't know if this high-rise has been... the production on this or construction on this has stopped. Another thing that could be a part of this whole recession idea that we have going on in the GTA franchise. Also, STD contractors.
Yes, that's
so there's
well played, Rockstar. Well played.
More businesses with some very tongue-in-cheek names as well featuring here. Now, this character people saw. Now, I think a lot of people assume that the person who was actually speaking during this trailer is this character, who a lot of people jumped on to one of two things. One, Frank West found his way into Grand Theft Auto.
right.
Because he looks a little bit like Frank West. Obviously not the case. Or that, two, it's Tommy Vercetti, who was the main character in Vice City. Tommy Vercetti actually would be much older, I think, if this is taking place in this era right now. So I don't think this is Tommy Vercetti. However... it's very possible that this is one of the three playable characters we think we see in this game.
You'll see this guy driving around in some of the car shots a little bit later.
Moving on to
crop dusting.
Crop dusting. Some workers getting messed up. This missed it there, but this Bugstar's pest control van has an awesome slogan that says "Putting the FU in fumigate."
Yes,
which is like my favorite. Moving up, just very quickly here, showing these three guys. So this is what we were talking about. It's possible that these are sort of the three main characters you're going to see in the game. The one on the far right could be that gentleman who we saw on the balcony that everyone thinks is Tommy Vercetti.
Correct.
The one on the far left is one that we think we see a couple more times throughout this trailer.
Yep.
And the gentleman in the center, I'm sure, he actually kind of looks like the guy that we saw on the Venice in the convertible.
Yeah, and my guess also from this particular shot, you can see that they're all brandishing silenced weapons, and they bust into what appears to be a jewelry store. Just based on the architecture and the locale, my guess is this is likely Beverly Hills, but could be Melrose.
Another convertible. This is looks exactly like the guy we saw earlier in the previous scene, and the guy on the balcony as well.
The Tommy Vercetti lookalike.
Exactly. I really wish that hopefully someone's already doing this, is writing down all these license plates, because I'm sure that they mean something, because they're not just random, And also, it does say on the license plate San Andreas, as far as I can tell, right there. So there's confirmation there if you were looking for it. This was sort of a nod to an LA staple, In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out Burger, right. This particular one is called Up and Atom Burger. Their slogan is, once it pings, eat like kings.
Yeah.
It looks like this truck's driving in front of what could be like the LA port.
A lot of homeless people sitting underneath a bridge here.
Yep, downtown LA likely. And also, I think this is also another first for the series. You can see a bunch of gentlemen riding around in the back of an open Jeep.
Right, yeah. This also adds a little bit more to the whole idea of the recession thing. I mean, the last game was more about the American dream, but maybe this one's more about surviving America nowadays, because right now it's a difficult time out there. I missed it. But there's a post office van here that rolls by, and their slogan is trying to... What is it? It's like trying to, or we promise not to lose it or something. Yeah, I totally
something to that
it.
effect.
Something to that effect. Again, here at Foreclosure Sign, one thing that I noticed as well: open window with some shades, kind of like breezing the wind here. So that's kind of cool. A little bit more interaction with the environment. Things are sort of going around.
Physics going on.
Mm-hmm. I love this discount beers and lotto tickets. Of course, one thing that a Grand Theft Auto game can't go without, I suppose, which are ladies of the night.
Yes.
They're happening here.
The oldest profession.
The world's oldest profession. Moving on.
Nico! No.
Yes, a couple people on Twitter were saying that this looks like Nico Bellic sort of down in his luck. It says, need money for beer, and everything else is sort of blacked out. We were thinking it says beer, drugs, hookers, and then in parentheses it says here, at least I'm not bullshitting you, which is...
I've actually sadly seen pretty close approximations of that sign being held by actual homeless folks. So I can speak to the authenticity. Oh, and in the background, I think you can also see a freeway sign for the 2, which is another freeway that we haven't seen yet. The 2 East, the Del Perro Freeway.
Some more poverty. We just saw an aircraft go by. You said it has 6 missiles on it?
Yeah, it has three missiles on each wing. So it looks like a military jet. Super fast shot. No idea if you'll be able to fly that or not, but if you can, it certainly would be an unfair tease. Mm-hmm. And we got a motorcycle here too. This is looks like some sort of Ducati-ish racing bike in front of Tequila La.
And this area you were mentioning also is sort of outside the outskirts between, was it Los Angeles and San Francisco?
Yeah, this looks to me like it's, based on where downtown is, it looks like it's southwest of downtown, mm-hmm. or actually it could be northwest of downtown. It's difficult to tell.
And one thing that's cool is you can see there's a worker here working on this rig here as well. And you do see a lot of other people doing their jobs, like the realtor putting the sign out and the postal worker going out and doing... So again, the impression of a lived-in city that makes these games pop a little bit more.
And I just got to give another shout out to the lights and the smog, because that is how LA looks at sunset.
Yeah. That is actually a nuclear blast in the background.
Right.
LA is about to explode at any point now. And then we get a car chase sequence. Here's also a character that we think may have been that character on the far left when they were exited the truck going to the jewelry store.
Correct.
One of the possible playable characters, possibly the son of that older gentleman. We're speculating wildly. That's what we like to do.
Yep.
There have been random crimes in Grand Theft Auto before, but I don't think I've ever seen anything to this scale. It's usually a guy being chased by a cop, but never... multiple cop cars, a helicopter,
right,
and also
this
squad.
This definitely seems like a playable sequence.
Burning car on the freeway, always terrifying. Vinewood,
yes.
See the Vinewood sign for the first time. Looks a lot better now than it did in San Andreas, that's for sure.
Yeah, it does. And we got a private jet flying overhead.
Mm-hmm. And to sort of extend that, like, what do you think of how the game looks, the graphic look?
Well, I mean, I think you compare it to GTA 4, and you can see that, at least in my opinion, it looks a little bit better. I think the lighting looks a little bit better, mm-hmm. and overall, sort of incremental improvements, I guess, over the last engine.
And that's the last shot, private jet going through, and then Grand Theft Auto 5, the logo for the game. So we don't know when it's coming out. We don't know what it's coming out for. You have to assume it's going to be PC, 360. PS3. I would also like to assume it's going to be at the end of 2012. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long. Rockstar typically doesn't make people wait too long for a Grand Theft Auto game. They've probably had this cooking for quite some time now.
Yeah, hopefully you can see a steady trickle of media coming out over the next few months as they continue to stoke the fires of the hype train.
Cool. So that's going to do it for this. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and we'll find out more when Rockstar wants to reveal more about Grand Theft Auto 5.